Welcome everyone. In this lecture, we are going to see how you can create the classes in test case design, what are its benefits, and when to go for the classes creation, right? And the second thing, we will see the reverse process of test case design. Remember, in previous lectures we have seen from the test sheet how you can create the test cases, right? In this lecture we are going to see how you can create the test sheet from the test case. This would generally mostly will give you an advantage when you have a test case created, and for each and every steps in it you wanted to create attributes, right? Okay. But in real projects, we first create the test sheet, because we initially we got the requirement, so according to that requirement we create the test sheet, and after that when we have a UI handy we'll go for the test case creation. But I'll let's see the reverse process also, right? So we'll first see what is a classes, right? So these classes, if you have some idea of Selenium in Java language, there also let's suppose there, if you wanted to use the screenshot functionality in your couple of test cases, right? So you just create a class of the screenshot functionality, and you will call that screenshot functionality by creating the objects again and again, right? So this is the same in test case design also. If you suppose that your attributes, some of your attributes are going to be used multiple times in multiple test sheets, then you just create a class of that attributes, and you can call that class again and again whenever you need in multiple test sheets. So you don't need to create that attributes again and again, the structures again and again. You just create it at once, right? And this would minimize the redundancy of your test sheet by using this classes concept. And instead of creating the same attributes multiple times, you just create a class and manage it centrally. Whenever you need, just create a reference of that class. Okay. So here let me show you that how you can create the test case classes. Let's move on this Tosca side. Okay, so here I'm having a checkout folder. Under my checkout folder I'm having two test sheets. The one test sheet is for the enter payment detail, and the second test sheet is for enter the communication address, right? So in the enter payment detail we have three attributes: enter the card type, enter the name, and enter the address. And for the enter communication address we have enter name and enter the address. If you look these two test sheets, you are going to see that the enter name and the enter address both are same, and both are common in both these test sheets, right? So if you think that your attributes are going to be and common for your multiple test sheets, you can create the class for that. How you can do it? Just select that just select this attribute and move it to the folder level, right? Move outside your test sheet. See, it will pop up the two things: create a class from attribute or create a structure from the attribute. So we wanted to create a class from the attribute, so we'll select this. And whenever you do this, a new class, the enter name is created. See, and the reference is you can see it under your test sheet. So reference is created, right? If you just right click and jump to the reference class, you will move to the class that is created for this reference attribute, right? So this is how you can create it. Let me create for the enter also, enter the address. I have created let me create the class for this one also. I'll move it outside the test sheet, and yeah, the two classes has been created. So whenever I just wanted to use it in my test sheet, let me remove this and let me show you that how you can use it. If I'll just remove it, Okay, so if I just created one test sheet and I wanted to use this in my these classes in my test sheet, I'll just select these classes and move to my test sheet. Enter name is created, enter address is also, I'll move, and this, see, the two steps are added here, right? So whenever any change you require, let's suppose any change you require here, then in structure, like right now I'm entering the first name and the last name. If the enter name is also going to consider your middle name, you can add it here, and that things are going to be updated in both the test sheets. So you don't need to go for the maintenance one by one. You don't need to create the attributes one by one because of these classes, right? Okay, so let's see the other thing, the other part of this lecture, that is how you can create the reverse of test case design section, right? So previously we have created 10 test cases from the test sheets, right? In this lecture we are going to see how from the test cases you can create the test sheets. Let me select. Remember, you have to select the test case, not the steps. So whenever in this case I'll select this test case. I'll drag this, drop to my test case design folder where I wanted to create my test sheet. I'll select here, right? Let me refresh, and after the refresh you will see one test sheet is created here, right? If you think that if you require this much of attributes and instances, you can keep it, or otherwise you can remove it from here also, right? So you see they provide email address and they provide password, this all are created, the logout has been created. So every steps are going to be created an attribute here, and these their values are going to be uh, an instance here, right? This is how you can create the reverse in test case design, from the test case to test sheet. And when the moment you do it, your test case is going to be converted into an end-to-end template. And when you expand these things, so you can see that the reference has been created for the each and every value you have provided. So every reference is created, and you can provide the value, or you can control those things from the test sheet, right? So this is the end of test case design section. The learning we have completed, but in next lecture I'll give you from the next lecture onwards, we will start and real time requirements, how you can create the test sheet. If you remember the vehicle insurance page, so we will create that things from scratch. So let's see you in the next lecture.